The real life equivalent of online multiplayer in parkour is jams. Welcome to episode 4 of the WTF series. We are in Oslo, Norway for the Oslo Movement Festival Gathering 2025. The way that we're forced to look at parkour in super macro detail, like having to understand, how the pelvis movement is on a front flip, all the way to like really kind of broad and abstract concepts of like, how does community work? The only way really through to kind of make a game that reflects what STORROR is and what parkour culture is IRL is by looking at how it works in real life. We're kind of here to look at it from this sort of research perspective, basically, so that we can better design the systems and like features that we're putting into the game.
Right, we're gonna start with me.
Yeah, you're up first.
So I do mainly the programming side, but I need to take care of you guys.
Dado's the boss, basically. Let's put it that way. If he's the boss, what are you?
I'm not the boss. I also write code, but also help design with Drew and stuff, I guess, and just kind of come up with systems, make the systems, fix the systems that I made that don't work, and just kind of do that over and over again.
Who out of you two has written more lines of code in the game?
Oh, like it's questionable.
That's questionable.
But if you look at the check-ins number, way ahead. I mean,
but if you look at the impact of those check-ins, you know what I'm saying? Because he checks in every 10 minutes as you're trying to inflate the stats. What is it about that era of music? It's just like
Real
ooh, I forgot.
artists and not business people.
ooh, I like that shit.
We're in Oslo in Norway, but we're kind of not actually in Oslo. It's like an hour and a half on a train. It's pretty rural around here, to be honest. It's quite quaint. The biggest thing going on in Brumunddal is OMFG movement gathering, and a load of hundreds of parkour people like being in the town, camping on the local green, hacky sack in the middle of the road. Like, that's definitely gonna make it to the local news, I'm sure.
I got a pocket full of weapons in my homeboys do too. So turn off the lights. Trying to so hard, I'm turning time.
It's really cool, like wherever you go there's something happening, and a lot of stuff that's not even parkour as well. It's a very random group of people from like loads of different backgrounds coming together. I think it's a lot of very unique people in a lot of ways. Everyone somehow fits into the parkour thing, which is amazing, because that's like, I think other than that, a lot of people, nothing else connects us, but that does connect us.
No matter what your skill level is, we all just want to train. So if you want to train as well, then you can do it with whoever you like. And events like this, you get the opportunity to share space with these professionals, and even just watching the way that they can break down a challenge, it can just enrich your process so much. And it can inspire you so much to see how they operate, or even just like who they are like in between their moves. 2, 1, let's go!
The community aspect of parkour to me is very much based on the interactions and the support you have with every athlete in the sport. There's almost like an unspoken agreement that we're going to be accepting, and we're working in this niche together, and this acceptance of we're all in this tiny little field of weirdness together. I think parkour people are like a bunch of misfits. For me, it gave me this crazy acceptance of just who I am as a person, was just allowed to be run rampant, if not appreciated.
mate. Yes. Oh, yes. So sick.
Have a smile, put a smile on.
I think it's been interesting for me coming here and seeing that actually a lot of what forms those relationships is outside of the training. There's definitely a massive part of like seeing people put themselves out there and be vulnerable obviously kind of bonds you, especially if you're working on a challenge together. But that also applies to like the fucking general hanging out and like, I feel like that's what's so special about the events in real life is like the social media community is action, 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 action. I feel like being here, it's like the best bit for me is seeing everything.
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, like I don't come to an event like this and barely train and feel bad that I barely trained, like, because I still hung out with everyone.
It's kind of how we're breaking down like this concept of community in the game with multiplayer, that you have these missions where you're sharing in the risk together and that kind of bonds you, but then also just kind of hanging out with tag or like games that don't have any strict structure.
It's just fun to like have camaraderie, whether that's online or in person, around kind of just messing around.
Yeah.
Because you know, you can be training really seriously or you can just be playing. Whether that's, you know, swinging on bars physically or swinging on bars in the game, and it's like you can laugh, you can chat, you can do whatever, and it's like it's social at the end of the day.
I've watched heaps of the screen, like playthroughs and stuff like that, like because I'm a bit of a fanboy, so I still like keep up, you know. I actually think it gives a way broader scope to parkour as a whole. It's way more accessible to people who don't necessarily have people around them or in their community. Because one of those great things you're explaining is like the multiplayer challenge, where that's what we do, but we'll all line up in a challenge and be like, you know what, yeah, and then like take it, like advice from each other, blah, blah, and then it gets ticked off, and that kind of joy of the teamwork and communication, again, is a huge aspect of like why the community is special. We're never trying to like, oh, if you get it, I'll be upset. Everyone just wants to see it complete. And that's what's weird about the sport. Like, that's where it's really hard to grasp for like someone who's very competitive. Don't you want to win? No, but I also don't care if James wins. Like, it'd be sick if James wins.
I'm bad at video games. Like, this is it. It's actually sick though, like the graphics are so good.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. When you're playing the video game, even with people, like other people online, and you got a session going, it does mimic the real life process. Like when you're training with someone and you're out and about and they do something in a certain spot, it opens up your mind to like, oh, like crap, like I could do this over here, or I want to do my version of that.
The big cheese is chilling.
Not yet. Why did you bring me here? It's all your fault. No, you know, like I feel knackered. I feel totally knackered. Yeah, like this weather, the sun, too much for me.
When people ask me what the reason that I am still in the sport and why I still do it after all these years, it's the community. It's the people involved that keep me coming back, and I don't want to lose any of this for people who could be involved in it in the future, like creating this environment so that younger athletes can come through and be a part of this sport.
I think we're in a really difficult position because the opportunity for the game that we're talking about making and the ambition of what we want to do is so huge that people are expecting us to be set up in like a AAA way, which we're just not. Like we were explaining earlier, it's like there's 12 of us and that is an absolutely tiny team.
If the demolition site is replayable, could there be any more to it to play second time around?
I think there is probably a lot more. I don't know how much you've played around it, guys.
Hopefully, I mean, I tried to keep that in mind when blocking it out. A lot of the rubble's there primarily just to limit the route, but if you just cleared that out when it's not a mission, what is already a spot opens up even more.
Yeah, I like that.
Although it's a lot bigger than any team that's worked on a parkour game before us, it's just nothing if we're comparing it to GTA or Skate or anything which people do want to compare this game to. And it's like a blessing and a curse because I think the level of our animation system is visually up to par with those titles. So it makes people think that the rest of the production and the game design and the game system should all be there too, but actually all of our energy for the last 4 years, all of these guys' energy for the last 4 years has been in that animation system, which is why it's so incredible. But we just haven't had the time or the resources yet to properly do the work in fleshing out the game systems. And so that's the exciting stage that we're at now. It's like we've got an incredible animation system. where you have so much freedom and so much fluidity to do parkour in a virtual world. But now we're starting work on like, how is that a game though? How does that become a game?
How many hours a night do you sleep, Dado?
On average, I sleep 4 hours a night. On a good day, 5.
The funniest bit is that last night I got a shit night's sleep and I'm really grouchy and tired today, and I got like almost 7 hours sleep.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
like terrible for me. I'm not even joking. Like that will really affect me all day.
Really?
And you guys run off 4.
I mean, 7 hours for me, I'm like buzzing all day.
A new parkour game is finally here. This is STORROR Parkour Pro.
STORROR Parkour Pro.
STORROR's Parkour Pro.
We are now in early access, deep in early access. Our development schedule, what we were able to do, given the funding and the team we built and the time we had, we kind of ran out of time. It ended up being such a huge thing and so ambitious that in the road to do that comes with a lot of technical systems that basically just weren't finished. After players that get in have really struggled, like hard time getting into the game, and like rightly so in terms of like not the best onboarding, not the best like initial 30 minutes, and then beyond that you can start to see where the years of work have come into play in terms of having a really deep, complex parkour system that, you know, now going forward can scale infinitely. But all of that has to be packaged into a game. The good thing about it is that we got it out. That means now we're like fully self-funded, and that's, you know, partly why this last month has been so kind of quiet from our end in terms of updates, is that rather than just pushing out more stuff for the sake of it, we really wanted to take the time to actually make sense of like, what is the scope for this game and what are we trying to achieve?
It was a very weird launch because, you remember I called you after like an hour. I said, yeah, Drew, yeah, congratulations, we made it. We didn't read the reviews yet, right?
Ironically, I think for the future of the game and the company, it's actually been a blessing in disguise, seeing some of the negativity and criticism, which has all been really fair. We kind of said it from the start, we want to make the game with the players, and that means taking the good and the bad. And so all of this is going to help us make the best possible experience. These next 3-4 months, I think we're going to see the game become what everyone wanted it to be, what we wanted it to be. Days like this, you know, seeing the parkour community filming this kind of stuff, you know, it's slowly starting to come together. So thank you guys for the support, and we're just going to keep going, really.